We'll see.
All right, everybody ready?
Ready.
I have a very long meeting this morning. Might go to 15-20 minutes, but I hope I'll keep your attention. Larry's, of course, recording it. We're going to send it out to all the people that aren't working here or at home, so they'll get the information about it. First thing I'll show off is that this is the finished poster from DMR. We shipped it yesterday. There are 19 distinct colors in there. None of them are CMYK. There's black in there. But there's also white coating and all kinds of stuff, so that's great news. We got great compliments from the guy who's paying us, so that's good. I'm going to go to the dashboard, and I'm just going to keep rolling. So here's what's going on today. 4911's all good. That's not so bad for what's going on. Let's just keep work going out. A lot of people are asking me a lot of questions. I'm not perfect, but over the last 30 years I've been pretty damn good. So if I can get you to keep trusting my answers, I'll do my best every chance I get. Sometimes I have to go back and correct things, which I've done before. But I'd like you to depend on good sources of information versus the nonsense that's flying around. Together we're going to succeed. Do your part, find your part, offer suggestions on what you can do instead of telling other people what they should do. So let me say it again. We got to find a new way through this thing, because I got people not coming in, I have people working from home, I have people trying to use their phones, I have customers saying I need the thing tomorrow. We just have to figure it out. And what I'm asking is that you do your part. If you find yourself staring at the ceiling or your shoes, start thinking like, what could I do to make this better or easier? But avoid thinking what Dean can do, or what Diana can do, or what Charlie should be doing, or what Maurice should be doing. Think about what you could be doing, because it's pretty difficult for me to get all the conversations I have where people wander in, call me up and say, you know what Amilcar should be doing right now? Get out, go do something. Amilcar never happened, but just, you know what I mean? You know how it goes? You know, the first thing you think of is like, how can the other guy help out? What can you do? So thanks for that. I wanted to share some information. Shit, did I do it? I don't know if I did it. But I wanted, some people are okay, and some people are freaking out, and I want to try to eliminate the freaking out a little bit. So this is to avoid freaking out. Okay, great. Don't look for something to freak out about. There we go. This is a chart of the work we wrote over the last 2 years by week. This is the current week. We wrote nearly $300,000 worth of work. It's okay. It's all right. Because if you look at the worst weeks we've had, we wrote $60,000, $64,000, $64,000, $68,000, $89,000, $94,000. Did we ever freak out? We just kept going because we know it's coming the next time, or we're going to work it way out. And these are the lowest 10 or 12 weeks. What I said in front of you guys was, this sucks. We're going to get past it. We have some reserves. We're going to figure it out. Some of these weeks I said, if you have time off, please take it. If you don't have to work, go home early a little bit. But we never shut down or, stopped things, right? I never lined up 5 guys and said, you're out of here. So stop freaking out.
So don't have to find another job.
No. Good luck finding one, by the way. The unemployment charts. So I want you to see that chart. You're going to see a ton of stuff around politics. One guy says one thing, one guy says the other thing. Please just wait. Wait a day. We saw some unbelievable unemployment numbers the other day. If anyone saw, 3+ million people filed for unemployment in a week. It's the most ever. It's the most since It's multiples of 9/11. It's multiples of 2008. It's multiples of anything. And again, I'm not perfect, but I've been pretty good for the last 30 years. Here's what's happening with that. Some people said, we're going to get all this unemployment help. So employers said, great, go home, everyone go home. And they just pushed everybody out of their businesses. It's not the right thing for us. It's not the right thing for me. I'm not doing that. Two, they also read a version of the bill that said their employees will make more money on unemployment than they will make at work. That is a typo in the bill. So we just talked about this on Wednesday with some of the other owners. We had a meeting, and I said, it's fucking insanity. So they basically wrote in the bill that you're gonna get all, you gotta edit it.
Yeah,
so,
I know it.
How long did I get? Like 10 minutes? No, not even, right? Like 3 minutes? Somewhere in that bill, they wrote they're going to add $600 a week on top of the unemployment benefits that are currently calculated by the state. That's wrong. They can't do that. That would never get past anybody. That makes somebody who's making $500 a week on unemployment start going to making $1,100 a week on unemployment. I'll have it. You don't all say like, fire me, please fire me. But that's 3 million people panic, and however many bosses that are panic, and they just send all these people out. Okay? I don't see it. Keeping you guys here, it's all okay. All right? I want you to hear that. Now, I'm going to do my best to share some learning. I hope that you will absorb it. I hope that you will appreciate it. This is the site I'm going to use. It's called yourbias.is. These are 24 of your cognitive biases, which cognitive means brain. Bias means you tend this way. Now, it's not always true. The reason this is up here, now this site, I'm not promoting this site. There might be some bad, there might be some selling on it, which is fine. But all this information is from a couple scientists, not too long ago, who won the Nobel Prize in economics, a couple psychologists. There is no Nobel Prize for psychology. It's not available. You can't win one. But their work was so impactful in economics that they said, you get this one. And they gave it to him. Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky, I think are their names. I've read a couple of their books. It's unbelievable information. It's great stuff. And this distills it down to some of the things and how we're tricking ourselves to thinking when you have a thought that's wrong. So one of them is called the availability heuristic. It basically means you judge based on what first thing comes to your mind. So if you see a lot of it, you think that that's the thing. That's the truth. It's not always the truth. So depending on what news station you listen to, the Democrats are idiots. If you listen to another one, the Republicans are idiots. That's the availability heuristic. If you keep putting that information in your head, you think that's the truth. It most likely is not. Go find some other statistical information. Remove emotion from news. If you read a headline that says, these guys are trying to screw you, don't stop reading. Because it's just trying to bias you in their opinion. Does that make sense? Can we all imagine that? Yeah. If you watch one news station and you flip to the other one, you immediately go, these guys are all lying, and you go back to your news station. Come on. There's not two ways of thinking. So please go look for good information. And if you're getting your emotional strings pulled, walk away from that news source. That's me asking you. Okay. Next one. I'm only going to do 3 today, so don't think I'm going to go do all 24. Just if you're already freaking out. This one's called the negativity bias. If you see something happening that's bad, you think it's going to happen to you. So I've gotten a couple of phone calls, a bunch of emails, all these owners. You should see what's happening out there. These guys are all closing, and you think, hey, hold on a second. Does that guy have one customer who his whole business is serving restaurants that are not allowed to be open? He's going to be down for a while. This guy, he had 3 top customers. They're all casinos. What's going on with casinos? They're shut. This is why we don't have any one business that's a huge portion of our company. Because years and years ago, Compass used to be 40 or 60% of our business. And I said, I'm not going to live with that. So I started buying and acquiring different companies to make sure that we had companies in different industries. Jersey Mike's dried up. It's okay. We got another one. Okay, so think about the negativity bias. Think about how fast your brain goes to bad. You know, like, oh no, it's going to be bad. Just, you know, pull that back. A better way to handle that is to write your pro and con list to say, like, what's the possibility of this happening? What's the possibility of that happening? And think about the probability, you know? Think about what's the probability this is going to happen? After all of our history together, what's the chance of the next thing to happen? Thanks for listening to that. Everyone's still paying attention. It's great. Here's the last one for today. This one is called the confirmation bias. It's this one. The confirmation bias says you will constantly look for things that verify your beliefs. If you think the Democrats are idiots, you will find every article that confirms it. If you think the Republicans are idiots, you'll find every article to confirm it. If you think that I'm an idiot, you'll like, there's another stupid thing Dave did, there's another stupid thing Dave did. If you like me, you will go, oh, there's another good thing he did, there's another good thing that he did, there's another good thing he did. This is the worst, because you're trying to make yourself right every time you have a chance. The best example I can come up with is bad drivers in the snow. Every year, no one ever comes to me and says, you should see all the great drivers out there in the snow. You think everyone's worse than you in the snow. You come in, and I hear 25 conversations about, you should have saw this idiot today. You wouldn't believe how fast they were driving. They can't stop. They can't do this. That's confirmation bias all over it. How many people did you drive in with? Everything was fine. But I'm going to hear the one that fell off the side of the road or spun out or didn't clean their windshield off. Because you're looking for the one thing, right? You're looking for the one thing to confirm that you're right and they're all stupid drivers, I'm the good driver. So please be careful of this. A better way to handle it is to know that your thoughts and ideas are like software, and software that's always looking for the problem, or more often looking for the problem. Reprogram it to find the solution, find the way to get out of it, find the option. That's how I've had to program my brain, because I have a lot of people saying you can't, you won't, this is problem, that's problem. I'm like, okay, well, how do we get around that? How do we get around this thing? Does that make sense? These are, again, 3 examples of bias that pre-program everyone has them. We're all pre-programmed with them. I'd encourage you to take a look at this site. It's a good one. The other thing I'd encourage you to take a look at is down the bottom here. Your fallacy is. This is, if you read this, you'll find out what the politicians and people who are trying to convince you of things are doing. Things like the slippery slope idea. If this is wrong, then everything is wrong idea. There's a lot of good stuff in there. You're hearing all these stories about people profiting from disaster. There's very few people profiting. Somebody made $100,000 selling a hand sanitizer. Okay, there's one guy. There's 350 million people in the country. You hear all these stories about hoarding. It's not everybody. Who wouldn't hear hoarded? 0% of this company hoarded. But you hear about it, you get all worked up about it, you're like, everyone's doing it. Not everyone's doing it. Stacy hoarded, by the way. She got all the mung bean egg substitute. So if you need that, yeah.
Right now, can you get any vegan burgers?
You can't find any vegan burgers because of her.
One good thing outside.
Yeah. So and then you'll hear people yelling, "What's in it for me? What's in it for me?" This is us together. If you think you're the only one that should have this special accommodation, or the only one that should be able to do this, it doesn't work. The company works because we're all doing it together. If any one of us stops doing our thing, it affects the other guy. So please try to erase that crap from your head. Next week we're going to do the same thing we're doing this week. They were supposed to have some stuff with the bill passed. That's not happening. There's some stuff going on with that. But we're still good. Did you see the numbers we wrote? Our cash flow is stable. Nothing happened. Gonna go another week like this. Gonna see what happens. This is probably gonna roll for a little while, but I'd like to take it a week at a time. Can I answer any questions? That's all I wanted to share today. Yeah.
Foods gave their employees $2 more an hour.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you. So should I be in the pot business? I'm still trying to find those koala bears with the fingerprints so that we can go steal that stuff. I don't know. Those are great comments. Thanks. Any questions I can maybe answer?
Barbecue's on hold.
Barbecue is on hold, Cecil. That's right now. I think about buying you guys pizza, but I don't want you all in that room touching each other's pizza. So I haven't figured that out yet. All right. Thanks for listening. Please keep going. Please keep doing the work.